Good morning. How's it going? What was it? This was only like 2 weeks ago. I put out a live video, and as you can see, my hair is starting to get longer. 2 more weeks. Yes, and I'm wearing a sweater. Not the best sweater. It's a hand-me-down. I had a friend come by last month. She had some clothes. She said, "If you're interested, would you like some of these?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take some." So I took a couple of dresses, a couple of blouses, and a sweater. And given that the temperature right now, it is 40, it is like 49, 50 degrees outside. Yeah, it's chilly today. It is 52 with a high of 64 today. So it's going to be chilly. So I'm in my sweater, I'm in my leggings. I don't have my boots. Don't have any cute boots right now for winter. Um, but I do have a PayPal. So if anyone wishes to make a donation to Cassidy's cute boots collection, yeah, I definitely got to get a pair of boots for this winter. I've got a pair of mucklucks, and I do have one pair of boots, but they're not the heel on them and everything else. Really, you're talking about the equestrian type flat heel boots, which are popular, and I've already seen some women walking around wearing them with jeans. So fall is officially here. When the women get their boots out and start wearing them with their jeans and leggings, it is officially fall. So that's me. I have not had a pumpkin spice latte yet, however, mainly because I haven't been able to get to a coffee shop that has PSL. Will one of these days. There's actually a coffee shop on a corner that I haven't been into, but that may change, because I'm sure they have smaller portions to eat than what I'm normally used to. And right now, I'm trying to manage it, and I'm going to get into that here. I think I mentioned in my last video that I was going to have a consultation for surgery. I'm going to have bottom surgery. GRS, GCS, whatever you want to call it. It's vaginoplasty. So essentially, I'll be getting a vagina one of these days. I had my consultation on Monday. I weigh right now around 250. Yeah, I put on 25 pounds of the COVID-20, as people are calling it. I was actually down around 226 or so at the beginning of the pandemic, and now I'm up to, like I said, around 250. So I put all that 25 pounds back on. She wants me to get down to 195 pounds. My doctor told me that. She says, "I want you to get your weight down to 195 pounds. When you're halfway there, we'll schedule a date for surgery." Full disclosure, I have not been 195 pounds since the early 90s. In fact, I haven't seen south of 200 since about 1995. Once I stopped doing aerobics, I put on like 50, 60 pounds and carried it throughout my life pretty regularly. Whereas when I was doing aerobics, and I was doing aerobics 6 days a week, At one point, my weight was down to 166 pounds. That's the lowest I can remember ever being as an adult. So, because I've always been heavy. I've discussed this before. I had the worst eating habits in the world. Growing up in a family where every time you finished a plate of food, somebody else was pushing another plate of food in front of you, especially during the summer when my grandparents were staying with us because, oh, you need your food. You're a growing boy. Yeah, well, I grew more than I should have. And I was a growing girl, not a growing boy, growing girl, but no one knew that except me. That's another story. So anyway, this week I bought some more groceries. I bought some Marie Calendar single serving meals and some Amy's single serving meals. I'm trying portion control, smaller portions to get my weight down. Tonight I've got 10 fish fillets sitting in my freezer. It's like Gordon's. I don't remember which one. The Groton fisherman. And in the past, I would probably eat all of them in one sitting. Tonight, I'm going to have 5. I'm going to eat 5 with a little bit of mayonnaise because I don't have tartar sauce. Mayonnaise works just as good as tartar sauce. I don't care what anyone says. I'll have ramen for lunch. I've already had my apple. I cheated a little bit today. Actually, it was more of a reward. I had cereal this morning at like 5:30 in the morning. And I had to do laundry at 7 because the laundromat just down the street, it's like a half a block from my apartment, opened at 7. So I took a load of clothes down there to do them. And I went back up to Hinkle's, the restaurant here on the corner. Had a cheese omelet, no meat, pepper jack cheese, and I had some tater tots. So I had some carbs, I had some protein, I had some fats, and then I went and walked it off. So that by the time I got back after doing my clothes and everything else, I was kind of tired. I walked a little bit, sat and rocked a bit by the shores of the Susquehanna. I've also been getting back into Planet Fitness. I went last Wednesday and I went last Friday, which last Friday, of course, was yesterday. Wednesday I didn't do too much. It was my first day back, and I really didn't have a lot of urgency to get on treadmills and stuff like that, but I did. And I ended up doing just a little over a mile on treadmill and something like, I think it was 6.37 miles on the recumbent bike. Because I like riding the recumbent bikes because I'll be quite honest, when you're riding on the regular bike, there's portions of my anatomy, which I am trying to rectify, that tend to get squished on the bike seat. And these are not the good bike seats like the one I had when I bicycled 14 miles. These are the bad bike seats that hurt. So the recumbent bikes are much better for me. I don't care. I liked it. But Friday, I said, well, I'm not going to concentrate so much on cardio. I'm going to concentrate more on strength. So I did a lot of the machines. I did do a little cardio, but it was all machines. Abduction, adduction, leg press, shoulder press, bicep curls, rear back extension, stuff like that. I was actually there for I got there at just before 8 in the morning, and I didn't actually walk out of there until, It was after, it was like after 20 after 10. So I was there quite a while. And I ended up doing 36 minutes actually on the treadmill. Walked 2.5 miles, or was it 1.3? I don't know. I have to go back and look at my schedule. Yeah, I actually had a pretty good workout. And one of the things that I found out that I had forgotten is when you have a really, really, really good workout and you've like busted yourself trying to get going and you get the endorphins flowing and the adrenaline going and stuff like that, you're not hungry. I actually stopped at Weiss and picked up some sushi. They don't make good sushi, so I won't be doing that again. And found that I really wasn't hungry for it. It just, you get all that going, you get a good exercise like that going, and you're not hungry. I wasn't even all that tired. So I hyperextended something in my arm here doing bicep curls. I can feel it. It's a little sore. So I'm not going back in until Tuesday. And my regime is probably going to end up being Tuesday, Friday, and either Saturday or Sunday. And Tuesday, definitely a day because I'm usually meeting with my therapist on Monday morning and my peer support on Monday afternoon. So Mondays are out. So Tuesday is a definite. And then it could either be Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, Sunday. Probably Thursday and Saturday because then that gives me Sunday and Monday to rest up for the week. And I can also adjust that, like if I go in on a Thursday and I kind of push it too hard, I can wait until Sunday to go back in and recover because you have to give your body time to recover. It's one of the things that I learned when I was doing Derby. Make it sound like it really was about a year ago. It was, yeah, it's been a while. When I was doing Derby, if you're doing practices nonstop, you don't ever give your body enough time to recover. I found that out doing 39 practices in a row, which I had an ex-coach. She looked at me and she went, "Damn, you need to take a break." And she pulled me aside and she says, "Seriously," she says, "the reason you're feeling so worn out is you're not giving your body enough time to recover." She says, "You need to miss the next practice. Just don't come back for a practice or two. You need to." So that's where I'm at with that. I'm trying to lose a lot of weight. I mean, a lot of weight. Right now, my goal is by the beginning of November, I would like to drop all the weight that I've gained from COVID. And I know that's like, people are going to look at you and go, "Oh my gosh, you want to get down to what, 220?" That's what I'm looking to do by the beginning of November, is like get down to 220. Because once I get to 220, I'm pretty much at the halfway point where I can contact my doctor again and say, "Okay, I'm at 221, 220, 221. I'm halfway to my goal. Let's schedule a date for the surgery." And then go from there. And like people have been telling me, you have a tremendous amount of motivation for this. You're going for something you want to do. You're talking about losing 55 to 60 pounds, but it's something you want to do. So that's what I'm looking at. And I spend a lot of time being hungry. I do. I drink a lot of water. I'm going to the bathroom like crazy. It's madness. And I do, when I'm sitting around the apartment without a lot to do, I feel hungry. So a lot of times, if I start getting too hungry, instead of snacking, I'll go actually lay down and try to take a nap, just so I don't have to think about what can I eat. And the thing is, I've eaten all the stuff that you could consider snackable. I mean, literally, I went through everything and said, let's just eat it now. And I got it out of the way. And now I don't really have snackables. I have meals. So if I go into the freezer and I look in there and I go, well, I got to always pull this out. And it's like, no, that's one of your meals. You've got 14, 15, 16 meals. And that's got to last you until the end of the month. And I found that it's okay if you buy turkey to make a sandwich with a little cheese. It's not okay if you eat 3 or 4 of those sandwiches a day, which was something that I was actually doing. I was eating 3 to 4 turkey sandwiches a day. That's ridiculous. So wish me luck on this. Give me motivation. Give me some praise, because I'm going to need it. I'm going to do a weekly weigh-in. I'll always weigh in on either Wednesday or Thursday. I bought a new scale. It's a really nice scale. And it was cheap. Amazon had them on sale for under $70. So I think by the time I got it shipped to me, and it was 1-day shipping, by the time I got it shipped out to me, it was like $17.25 or something like that. By the time you added tax, I got free shipping on it. And I was looking at it yesterday after I got back from the gym, and I'm talking to myself going, no, put the scale down. You don't want to weigh yourself. You're going to weigh yourself, and if you haven't lost any weight, you're just going to get all depressed. And it's really how I kind of do that too. I'll walk into the kitchen, and you have to verbally say to yourself, you have to say it out loud, you don't need to eat anything. Get a glass of water. I got the sniffles a little bit today. It's the cold weather. I think I'm going to pop a Dayquil later, because I think I'm actually starting to develop the beginning of a cold, because the weather has changed so dramatically here. I had the windows open for 2 or 3 days. I'll open them later when it gets a little warmer outside. But right now, one of the reasons why I got a sweater on is because it's cold. And my nose is starting to run a little bit. So I'll pop a Dayquil just in case. That's the other thing I've been eating. I've been eating soup. I've been eating a lot of soup. And it does the broth. One of the things I'm actually thinking of doing is just buying like beef and chicken broth and cooking that instead of soup. Because I find I like the broth better than anything else. It's hot, it's tasty. And if you remember, Coraline, in my books, whenever Carrie got really, really injured and she wanted to bring him back up to speed, she would give him some beef broth, usually done with a bouillon cube and a caprese sandwich, which was, basically she's feeding him cucumbers and tomatoes with maybe a little mozzarella or something like that, something light. but usually a cucumber and tomato sandwich along with beef broth, in order to get them started on something light. And I find, like I said, I find the broth, the best part I like about eating ramen is drinking the broth at the end. I'm strange that way. Probably within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to put out the third novel, which is really the third, and I should say the third installment of the first novel. It's about due. I've got to make a cover. I'm going to go through and re-edit the third section. Yeah, I've still been writing. I haven't been writing at the speed that I normally do, but like last night I sat down and I had a lot of distractions going on. I had a lot of things going on. I still managed to get 300 words out, which doesn't sound like a lot, except I'm in Act 3 of the third novel. And I'm inching slowly toward an important part in the book. And this was something I mentioned to a couple of friends, is that I find it difficult to continue when I get to a point where I've got this really life-changing event coming up with one of my kids. And I have to write about this stuff. And sometimes it's difficult. I said, I got to the point where Annie and Carrie did their test assessment, their BTS, their basic testing, BST, basic summarizing and testing. I think that's what I called it. I have to go back and look at this. I forget. I'm losing my mind. But they had their BTS. They've done their work with. They've done their testing with the Guardians, and there was one woman in my writers group. She was basically like, "You just hurt your kids so bad." Because I'm explaining to her all the things that's happening to them. And she's like, "I don't know how you can do that." Well, this is one of the reasons why I have difficulty when I'm getting to that point where it's time to hurt my kids. And now I got to write about it. And it's not easy to do. Or if there's something that's going to be like monumentally life-changing for them. Like we're coming up on a section in the third book where something happens to Carrie that's monumentally life-changing. And it's a big deal. It's hard to sit down and put it all into words, even though you know what you're going to say. It's really difficult as hell to put it all down into words. So there's that. But yes, probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get the third installment out. The book is selling like, right up there on the bestsellers list. I think of the first 2 volumes, I've sold a grand total of about 20 books. Maybe. I'd have to go back and look. But it's not a lot. But I don't care. It's not that big of a deal to me. I would like to sell more, like to make more money off my writing. I do have a feeling that this year I'll come close to making nearly $100 off of all my writing, so it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I put these out there. I'll end up selling like 6 copies of this book. Yeah. 6 copies, that'll be it. It's funny. And then the other thing I've been working on is I've been working on another collaboration in my writers group. And the woman and I who are working together are writing this story like it's a TV script. Seriously, I've figured out how to write a TV script. Well, kind of. But yeah, we're writing it in the format of a TV script, which is kind of cool. We actually have a couple of other people in our writers group who are not participating in this whole collaboration bit, but who were like, "Hey, could you slide us like copies of what you're working on? Because we really want to see how script writing looks and look at how we can go about, editing them and stuff like that." And we were like, "Yeah, sure. Why not? We're cool. We're groovy. We're the cool kids. We're being extra." We said that. We said we're being extra with this. We know it. People are going to cut. There's probably going to be a couple of people that are going to be like, "Why did you write this in the format of a script?" And it's going to be like, "Because we wanted to. Sorry, not sorry." Yeah, we're being extra. I may actually put it all up as a PDF if I could figure out a way to actually display it. I may actually put the whole thing up as a PDF for everybody to look at. Because if you put it into the format of the blog to look at, it jacks everything up. The blog is not set up to actually handle how a screenplay should be written. So I'm looking into, is there a way that I can actually do that? And I apologize for my friends who don't have English as their primary language, but girls got to do what a girl's got to do. I'm going to do it. Sorry. So that's pretty much a catch up on where I've been the last couple of weeks. 2 months in the apartment. Haven't missed any rent. Paid all my bills. Got $90. I actually got about $390 in the bank right now. So I'm sitting good. I'm trying not to touch 300 of that because that's savings. But I got $90 in the bank. Like I said, I've paid all my bills. The only thing I got to pick up, maybe a little milk here, maybe little milk, ramen. That's about it. Not quite desperate enough to get into cup of noodles territory. That's how I'm doing. I'm doing much better. Obviously, I didn't starve enough when I was out there. I was eating a lot of crap during the pandemic. So, gained all that weight. Now, I got to get it off. So, we will work on that. I will work on that. And I'll get there. I'm not worried about it. I will talk to you later. See you in probably in a couple of weeks. How about that? We'll talk later. Bye.